All right. Hello, Team Passion. Welcome to our weekly Zoom call. It is Monday, February 1st. Oh my gosh. And it felt like spring here today in Massachusetts. It was amazing. We were all like, people were out running in shorts. It was crazy. So cool. Super excited to do this Zoom tonight. Every week we are going to work on highlighting and spotlighting a new leader on the team. I had even had Mark make a fancy graphic, kind of like the National Wake Up Call, and get everybody pumped up and all sorts of fancy. Next week we have another great leader lined up for our call. So tonight I asked Gina Kriger to share with us some tips. I want her to share her story real quick and how she came into the business, and some tips on how to be successful as a brand new coach right out of the gate. I met Gina on my like page, and she came into my challenge group, my 21-day fix challenge group, and she was active and doing great, and I invited her to a sneak peek, and by day 2, she was in the system, ready to start coaching, and I've had the pleasure to get to know her and get to work with her over these past 4 months. So she signed up in October. She became a success starter October, November, and December. So she earned her free ticket to Summit and became a diamond on December 31st. And heading into January, she is kicking it up a notch and has her husband's account well on its way to diamond as well. So, and she has about 3 to 4 other business partners that are starting to really kick off and do amazing things. And it's only been 4 months and it's just crazy. And she's one of those coaches that I have such joy in working with. She never comes at me and says, this isn't working, how do I do this? I don't have a big enough list. Like, she just is working. I don't hear excuses. I don't hear reasons why something's not happening. And if I do, she says, so here's, what do you think about this solution? She always has a solution. She did an event, and she posted a picture, and her table was like all done. Like, she didn't ask me, hey, how do I order a tablecloth, or how do I make a sign? Like, her table was profesh, and she didn't even ask me anything. Like, I saw a picture of her table. I'm like, whoa, that's better than something I would do. So it's, just with great pleasure that I, have her share with you guys tonight and introduce Gina to the call tonight, so she can just give you all her tips and tricks. And they're definitely gonna be things you've heard before, but I want you to hear it from somebody else. So Gina, take it away. Welcome.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you for inviting me to speak tonight. And I just have to say that I learned so much from Nicole, and she truly is a phenomenal leader and role model. And whatever she says, I do. And I preach that to you. Just listen to your upline coach. They know, they've been in this. They know what works and what doesn't work. So I appreciate everything she has done for me. In addition, all of you listening on the call and in the video tonight and on our Team Passion page, you guys are a great inspiration, and we feed off of each other. We learn from one another, and so I try very hard to watch what you guys are doing, what you're posting, what things are working for you, and I try to incorporate that in with my own personality to it. So that's a huge thing. Like she said, you've heard it before. The biggest thing, I think, in what I keep hearing from all the national wake-up calls and all the coaches I'm listening to is do your 3 vital behaviors. And that is key. We can do our workouts, we can drink our shakes every day, but the other 2 pieces really are important. And personally for me, I like the inviting part of it, because this is something I love. And when you find something you're passionate about, it's so easy to do. I'm not selling it, I'm just sharing. And that, I think, is a big difference. I'm not out there trying to sell products. I'm trying to help people and support them and encourage them and help them experience what I have with these programs and with drinking the shakes and doing my workouts every day and being a part of the challenge groups. So I think that's the biggest thing that I have learned with this. And the other thing is you have to relate to people. You have to listen to them and hear their stories. We all have our stories, and there's all driving reasons inside of us, but you have to kind of dig a little deeper to find those. And don't be afraid to fail. And I'm not as scared of a no, because I figure if I don't ask, it's already a no. So if I'm asking and they say no, that's okay. But the other piece of it too is, to me, a no isn't a no. And throughout these last 4 months, what I have tried to work on with my invites, when somebody does give me an objection or say no, I kind of pry a little bit deeper and dig and probably annoy them maybe, but I figure out why are they saying no. And a lot of times something comes out, and then we work on it together, and I'll try to find a solution to their objection, whether it's money or whether it's the timing or, different things. And then I'll come out at them with the solution and I'll present it to them. Or sometimes they'll say to me, well, I don't like shakes. That's when I came across. And I'm like, okay, well then I sent them like 10 recipes on how to cook with Shakeology. And so I got a customer who actually joined as a coach because she hated shakes, but now she makes protein bars or the almond balls, or she puts it in her oatmeal. So I just sent her all these things. So you have to, she said no first, but it wasn't a no in the end. And another important thing is a no today is a yes some other day. And that's how I look at it. I continue keeping those relationships with those people I have met and started talking to. So I know, like I had 2 people over the weekend, they signed up and they were my 2 no's back in October. So they do come around, and I just kept the lines of communication open with them for the last couple months, and they were seeing what I was posting, and they started asking questions, and eventually they came around. So that's another important thing I have learned. Obviously, personal development is key too for this business, and that's something I work on every day, and I need to continue working on. I'm guilty. I didn't read much before this and do any of that, so for me, I'm thankful it's opened my eyes to that. So I like to read, do the podcast. I always make a point to, like I said, look at other coaches' pages and what they're doing and learn from them, because we all have such amazing ideas and talents, and we can just feed off of each other and help support each other. As far as the national wake-up calls and Zoom calls, I try my hardest to listen to those every day. And if you guys listened this morning, it was an amazing call, I felt like. And the biggest takeaway I took, and I know Nicole posted in the page, was missing a goal is not a permission slip to lower your goals. And that is a big thing for me. I used to be a 3rd grade teacher, so I am very organized and goal-oriented and driven. And sometimes I probably set my expectations way too high, but I'd rather have high expectations and high standards than low ones. And I do that because that's what helps drive me, and that's what gets me to that next level. And, I'm realistic, and I'm not like saying I'm going to hit Success Club 50 my 2nd month, but I'm striving every month to do something better and bigger. And, last week, this is just an example, on Wednesday, I really wanted to hit a Success Club 12. And I pushed and pushed, and I worked so hard all day, and I tried. And I remember it was 11:58, and I finally turned in for the night. I was like, I wanted to get that last challenge back, but I couldn't. And that was okay. And that was another lesson on the National Wake Up Call this morning. It's okay if you don't make it. But another thing, I switched it, and I could have been upset and been disappointed and stopped there and said, well, I can't do it. And I've done all I can. But that just drove me more. And that was like kind of that fire underneath me. And Thursday morning, I was like, what can I do differently? And I started thinking about ways I could approach people differently and come from a different angle. And that kind of really helped set me up for the last couple of days of the month. And I got a lot of people turned, and I ended up doing better this last month than I had any month before, and even went above the goals I had set for myself. So I think that's a big thing for us. We have to learn from our struggles and from our obstacles and take those opportunities and say, what can I learn from it, and how can I take this experience and turn it into a positive one? And I just think that is so important. We are going to have bad days in this business. We are going to have those customers and coaches and challenge group members that push our buttons, but we have to learn to move past it and work through it. And we all have, I'm sure, those stories where someone did something to us or, upset us or disappointed us, but you can't dwell on that. And that is a huge thing, because if you did, you're not going to make it far in this business. You need to just say, okay, that's one person, that's their opinions and thoughts, and move past it. Consistency is another big thing. Every day, no matter what my day brings, I do my vital behaviors. And I don't just do 3 invites. I try to do at least 10. And I push it as much as I possibly can. And I will stay up as late as I have to if I did not get it in. So that's a huge piece. Organization helps me a lot. Before I go to bed, I always map out my posts for my Facebook page, my challenge groups, and any events I have, and my like page, as well as figuring out who I'm going to invite, what business invites I have, who I'm following up with. And so I try to keep that. I have built like boards, whiteboards, where I have people's names on it. I also have Excel documents in different tabs in each document, one for my customers, one for my coaches, one, to my to-do list. So that helps me stay organized, but you have to find a system that works for you. And then that's another key thing I've learned through coaching other people is things that work for me don't work for them. And I have to figure out what works for them. Because my way isn't right and your way isn't right, but we can help each other and support each other. So learn from everyone year round. Relationships is another key piece to this. You need to, and I had the privilege to listen to Carl when he was here for Super Saturday, and he said the focus this year needs to be on not how many challenge packs you can sell in a month and how much money you can make for the business, but how many people are getting results. That's the bottom line. We want to help people. We want to make them feel better about themselves and grow. And so what can we do? And so now that really hit home to me, because I wanted to make sure, especially in my challenge groups with the people in it, I don't want them to get, hung up on I'm losing this amount of weight or that. It's how are you feeling? What differences are you experiencing? And build off of that, because those people who have this success are going to share what they're doing on their own. And things are just going to kind of spiral, and it's going to spread like a wildfire. And that's what you want to do. And another thing I try to incorporate a lot in is marketing. I had my background in marketing. For college, I went and graduated with my business degree. So I try to think of ways to market and kind of sneak things in without doing it right up front. And, like simple things. My cell phone, I got a Team, Beachbody cell phone case cover. And so everywhere I go, like at the grocery store, I was there today, and I kind of just flipped my phone upside down. And the person checking me out looked at it and was like, oh, you do that Beachbody? And I was like, yeah. And so it just started a conversation. So think about creative ways you can kind of sneak it in. Facebook banners is another thing. I try to change mine. Or, business cards and flyers you can send out to things. Craigslist, I put like an ad on, for local area. And I got someone from there. So just kind of think outside of the box. Another thing I'm working on now is corporations, trying to do like wellness programs and reach out to them. I have gotten 50 no's, but I keep inviting at least 5 new corporations a day. And I know I'm going to get one yes, and we'll do it, but you just have to put yourself out there. The other biggest thing I would say is mindset is key. for everything. And, sometimes I have no idea how I'm going to get it done. And I don't know. I set these goals for myself. I'm like, oh, what are you doing? But I know in the end, I'm going to get there. I might not understand the path to get there, but I will get there. So you need to have that positive mindset and believe in yourself and have faith and trust that you can do this. When you want something badly enough, you're going to find a way to get it. And so just continue to believe in yourself with that. Something, and I also took from the National Wake Up Call today when Brittany shared, she was hesitant to share a personal experience with herself that she went through, but now she decided to because of the good that came out of it. And, right now, how I got into this business, I think really, like Nicole said, I came across her like page, and I, at the time, was a stay-at-home mom, and I had I had two little ones running around. I didn't have time to go to the gym, so I wanted to find a program that I could do because I was always active. And so I fell into this, and I just loved it and how it changed my life in so many ways. But more importantly, I think all of us has that experience in our life where we've been tested and where we've been challenged to the point where you don't know if you are going to be able to get through it and survive. And so I'm just going to share with you just a little piece of that for me. About a year and a half ago, I found out I was pregnant with twins, and I found out at 18 weeks that my twins, I was pregnant with a girl and a boy, had a very rare genetic disorder where they were retaining fluid in their bodies. And doctors had no idea the cause. They couldn't figure out what was wrong. And they kept telling me that they're not going to survive. They will not make it. And every week I would go in, and they would kind of look at me surprised that I was still pregnant. And they would do a sonogram, and they were amazed there were heartbeats. I refused to believe them. And I trusted and believed that miracles happen. And I had faith in God and knew that it was going to be okay. I didn't know how. No one could explain it to me. But I said, I have to be strong. And so I refused to believe them. And just actually a year ago, February 3rd last year, I gave birth to a baby girl and baby boy, Reagan, Alexandra, and Wyatt James. And Wyatt James is celebrating his first birthday on Wednesday. And sadly, my daughter did pass away 3 days after she was born. And any of you who are a parent can imagine this is the worst thing you possibly could ever go through. And it was the greatest struggle I ever faced. In addition, at the time, I had an 11-month-old as well. So it was a challenging year, 2015. And I'm sharing this with you because we all have those moments where we have no idea how we're going to get through things. And we are all here. We all make it. We all survive and push through it and rise above. And that's what you have to do in this. You're going to have days where you want to quit and you just want to throw in the towel. But the joy comes at the end, and just stick with it and fight through it, because we are so lucky and blessed to be a part of this amazing company and have the team we do in front of us. All of you have something valuable to share, and we just need to learn from each other. And I hope that you can take that and run with it, because if you do, you're going to succeed no matter what. And I just am truly appreciative and thankful that I had the opportunity to come across Nicole's Like page, because it truly took me out of a place of not understanding and not knowing and becoming a whole new person. And that's what this does for people. And so share it, embrace it, and love every part of it. Lead with your heart and your passion. If you're passionate about something, you're gonna succeed. You just have to put yourself into it and relate to people. Celebrate your milestones, no matter how big or small. Make sure you celebrate them But one thing I always do is once I achieve something, I'm always looking ahead at the next thing. So treat this as like a marathon, and every mile you achieve is another goal, but you have to keep still looking forward, because that is what's going to take you to the next level, and you're going to grow. So hopefully this was helpful, and hopefully you guys took away something from this. And please, if you have questions or need anything, I would love to help and do anything I can to support all of you. But all of you are amazing and have such great potential.
You are amazing. My goodness. Thank you. That was a call that a 15-star diamond would have done. Like, that is just, that call, that was so good. And thank you for sharing your heart. We truly appreciate that. Does anyone, what do you guys have for questions? I don't know if you have any, but that was pretty awesome. I hope you have lots of amazing notes. And Gina just reminded me to celebrate each milestone. I don't do that. And every time someone reminds me of that, I say, I need to do that. Like when we hit the Millionaire Club, and a couple of my personally sponsored coaches were able to do a live Zoom call. My mom and Lauren set it up, and you know, they're like, what are you going to do? I'm like, I don't know. I didn't even celebrate being in the Millionaire Club. Like, what the heck is wrong with me? So I got an ice cream. My mom's like, get an ice cream. I'm like, okay. Like, I didn't even know. I don't even know. But what do you guys have for questions for Gina? Anything specific that you want to ask? You have her here. Hannah says you're amazing. Gina, can you share, I don't know if anyone's thinking about this, but can you share, like, in the very beginning what your invites kind of looked like, and maybe what they look like now? Like, did they evolve over time? Yeah, maybe something specific on what your invites look like.
Yeah, and I have no problem. I can post in the page, like, kind of a general thing I do, but I try to first obviously form with people. I don't ever usually invite out of the blue. Some of those I will do if I follow them and see that they are into fitness or into something, or looking to have a change in their life. And so I'll just say to them, you know, I'm going out on a limb here, and I just saw your post, I love it, and compliment. But usually I will say to them, you know, I don't know if you have seen any of my recent posts lately, but I host a lot of challenge groups, and I'd love for you to be a part of them. They're great programs. They've changed my life, and I go through that. But even before that, I will say I try to figure out their emotional reason, because I find that if you can connect with them emotionally before you do an invite, you're really successful that way. So kind of like, I'll ask about their family, ask about what they're doing, what their, you know, work and job situation is. And then, you know, a lot of people say, I wish I was more into being able to have the time to spend to take care of myself and work out or eat healthy. And I'm like, I have the solution for you. So it kind of sells itself, and it works its way into it. And the other thing is, if you are doing your post every day, like really every day, people 9 times out of 10 say to me, oh, wow, you're in Beachbody, like your Beachbody coach, that's great. You know, I've seen those products, you know, what are they about? And then they usually open up the window for me to talk to them about it. So if you are doing that consistently, it will pay off, and it kind of just falls into place.
Yeah, I agree. That's huge, huge, huge. I've shared that with you guys a few times. I definitely, you know, anytime I would friend someone from high school or past coworker or someone I went to college with, like, I would just send them a message being, hey, how are you? Your kids look adorable. Like, I'll look at their Facebook real quick. And then by the 3rd or 4th piece of the conversation, they're like, oh, what do you do? I saw that post you did. You know, exactly how Gina just outlined it. Those are just natural invites. But the only way you can do that is if you are posting consistently every day about what you are doing. And it doesn't have to be buy from me. It just, did my workout, had my shake, whatever it is. But if you have to at least once a day be talking about something Beachbody or health and fitness related or something along those lines. Yeah. Good.
One like a system that I don't know, it works for me is when I friend request new people. I usually do 3 a day at least because Facebook doesn't like anymore. And those 3, as soon as I hear back and get an acceptance from them, I'll wait till the next day. And those are the ones I start messaging and start informing with. So I am always starting something new in a conversation. I usually give it a couple of days of the conversation and then we'll get into it more. But like I said, usually those people end up, because obviously if I'm friend requesting them, sending them a message, they're 9 times out of 10 going to look at my page before they respond back. And they see it and comment on something.
Yep, good. Anybody else? Any questions? All right. Well, thank you so much, Gina. That was amazing. Make sure everybody, I will stay up and get this up on the YouTube channel tonight so that you can get out to your team right away. But please listen again and share with your team. Make sure everybody knows on your team where this channel is. They can go back. There's a lot of months of videos here. So chances are if you have a question, we've done a Zoom on it. So make sure you use these Zooms. And Gina, again, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks.